In a matter of weeks or probably months, the African Democratic Congress ADC have moved up the ladder to become Nigeria's main opposition political party. In a single move, the People Democratic Party (PDP) lost its position as the main opposition party in the Nigeria Senate. How was ADC able to achieve such a great feat in a short time? And what impediments are against the new main opposition party as the 2027 general election draws close? Tonight, we will turn our attention to these political developments that are already shaping and reshaping the balance of power from Abuja, the nation's capital city, to the most remote part of the nation. Good evening and welcome to this week's political update on Trumpet TV. I am your host, Oba Silva. On March 12, 2026, 9 service senators defected to the ADC in one dramatical sitting at the National Assembly. With that single move, the People Democratic Party (PDP) lost its position as the main opposition party in the Senate. The question now is unavoidable. Is the ADC truly emerging as a credible opposition party or as an alternative to the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC? Or is this simply another political coalition driven by ambition rather than ideology? Tonight, we will discuss and focus on the rise of the ADC and what it means for the 2027 general election. The party did not begin as a dominant political force. Founded in 2025 by Ralph Omosu, the party started as a platform aimed at representing ordinary Nigeria who first excluded from the mainstream politics. For years, it maintained that minor player role. However, it profile rose in 2018 when former President Olusegun Obasanjo backed a coalition movement that adopted the ADC as a political vehicle. But the real turning point came much later. By 2025, the PDP had become engulfed in internal conflict, dispute between leading political figures like Atiku Abubakar and Nyesom Wike deepened division among the party. Parallel leadership have emerged, structure divided, conflicting cost order, and prolonged litigation weakened the PDP cohesion. At the same time, the Labour Party in Nigeria also was faced with its own internal struggles. Therefore, many political actors were in search for a neutral platform. That platform later became the ADC. In a move that signaled a new direction, Ralph Omosu stepped aside for former Senate President David Mark when he was named as the interim national chairman, while former Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola assumed the role of the national secretary of the party. What was a rapid transformation that followed? A relatively quiet party simply and suddenly became a focal point of a broad opposition coalition. The emergence of a new leadership structure did not go unchallenged. Internal disagreements soon moved to the court. Since then, there have been legal battle within the ADC. According to Leke Abejedi, chairman of the House Committee on Custom and the only elected official of the party in 2023 general election, he said that before the coalition, the party was united. But since the coalition emerged, we now have two ADCs, the main ADC and the coalition ADC. Just a few days ago, the Court of Appeal in Abuja dismissed an appeal filed by the former Senate President David Mark over the ongoing leadership dispute in the party. Mark have appealed a September 4, 2025 ruling by Justice Emeka Wite of the Federal High Court in Abuja, in which the court refused to grant some injunctive relief contained in the annexed expatriate application filed by a chieftain of the party, Nafiu Bala Gombe. Gombe was a former deputy national chairman of the ADC and is currently laying claim to the leadership of the party. He has filed an expatriate application along many other substantive suits, challenging, among others, the election of David Mark and Aregbosola as the national chairman and the national secretary of the party. He had in his application sought interrogatory injunction to, among others, restrain Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from recognizing Mark and Aregbosola as leaders of the ADC. Another notable case was filed by Dumebi Kashiku, who was a party 2023 presidential candidate, along other members. They have questioned the legitimacy of the interim leadership and sought for judicial intervention. That case placed the party under scrutiny at this critical movement. However, in March 2026, the Federal High Court in Abuja delivered a ruling that will shape the party's immediate future. The court held that the leadership dispute within the political party falls within internal affairs and are not subject to judicial interference or scrutiny. Well, for the APC, the judgment provided breathing space. The party official described this as a confirmation that the leadership structure will stand. Despite this multiple legal battle, the party is still focused on consolidating its reach by backing a massive membership drive all over the country. But there came the more dramatical movement. On March 12, 2026, the Senate witnessed a series of defections that altered the political landscape in the Nigerian Senate. Among those who moved to the ADC were prominent figures such as Aminu Tambuwa, Ayenaya Abaribe, and Victor Ume. Others include Tony Nwoye, Bino Dauda Yares, and other key notable lawmakers, both from the PDP and from the Labour Party. Their reason was similar: persistent internal crisis, leadership dispute, unresolved litigation within their former party as reason for their movement. The effect was immediate. While the APC retained its majority, the ADC emerged as the main opposition bloc within the Nigerian Senate. The PDP presence was significantly reduced. This shift carried real consequences. In the parliamentary politics, members determine influence, committee leadership, legislative negotiation, and oversight function. All depends on party strength. For the ADC, this was just not symbolic. It was a mark that its arrival as a serious political force within the Nigerian Senate. While the political class in Abuja, the ADC have moved to expand its base across the country. The party have launched nationwide digital registration platform aimed at attracting new members into their fold. This process allows Nigeria to register, verify membership, and also participate in active politics online. Party officials say that responses have been very strong, particularly among young people and first-time voters. The move reflects broader shift in political organization of the nation. Digital tools are increasingly becoming readily available to shape how party mobilize voters for election. Well, for the ADC, the strategy serves two main purposes. It builds a verifiable membership base, and it signals an attempt to modernize party operation. Well, alongside digital registration, the party continues with physical mobilization at the grassroots level. The goal is clear: to convert political momentum into nationwide structure. The rise of the ADC raises serious critical question. Can this momentum be sustained? There is no doubt that the party has made rapid gain. It now have national visibility, leadership figures with national experience, and a great presence in the legislature. But challenges remain. Coalition often struggle with internal balance, legal battles, routines of court cases. Different political interests must be managed carefully by the ADC. Ambition for the 2027 presidential ticket could test the unity of the party, as many political gladiators are already actively preparing to take a shot for the presidential ticket, from Obi to Atiku to Amishi and Aminu Tambuwal. There is also the question of structure. Winning seats in the National Assembly is one thing, but building a strong presence across all states is yet another. Elections in Nigeria are decided not only in Abuja but in local communities across the Federation. Therefore, for the ADC to succeed, it must translate allied support into grassroots strength. What we are witnessing may well be an early stage of a major political realignment. The PDP is weakening, the Labour Party remains fragmented and divided, and the ADC is riding, though with some teething problem. Whether this rise lead to lasting change or fade away under pressure will depend on what happens next. As Nigeria moves toward the 2027 general election, the shape of opposition political party is already shifting. For now, the contest is no longer simply about holding power. It is about who can organize, unify, and present a credible alternative. This is all we have in our weekly political audit on the Trumpet TV. Thank you very much for keeping a date with us. And until next week, when we bring yet another major issue shaping our politics, I remain your host, Oba Siva. Good night.